Firewatch was released in 2016 and is a single-player walking simulator. Wait, didn't I already do this? No, this can't be right. This can't be right. Who gave me the wrong script? Now this is the right game. The Stanley Parable is a walking simulator that gives the player choices to make that each lead to different endings. The original was released in 2011 as a Half-Life mod and then got a full video game release on Steam in 2013. However, as it turned out, that wouldn't be the last we would hear of the antics between Stanley and his narrating friend. After 5 years of waiting, it's here. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Though none of my friends were as excited as I was when the remake/expansion was announced, I was excited nonetheless. And after many delays, they released it exactly when they had planned all along in April 27th, 2022. The Stanley Parable pokes fun at video game tropes while taking part in them. That's essentially the whole game. You walk around deciding whether to go through this door, or walk down those stairs, or jump off the cargo lift, all while the narrator attempts to guide you through his story. The voice acting in the Stanley Parable is of a very high quality. Though the narrator is usually a level-headed voiceover, when you disobey him, he can get very heated. The writing is funny and well done, with every choice you make having different consequences, and even the repeated lines you hear a lot change occasionally. The music and sound effects are rare and usually for gags, but they're good enough that it won't make you jump out of the experience. The graphics, even in the Ultra Deluxe, are older and simple, but exactly what you expect from an office building. Speaking of which, let's talk about the differences between the versions. As a recorder, you can still buy both the Stanley Parable and the Ultra Deluxe edition separately on Steam, which is good. More choice is always better. However, I honestly believe if you have any interest in the game, you should just buy the Ultra Deluxe version of the game. The Ultra Deluxe has everything the older game had, while only being 10 more Freedom Eagles, and if you already own the Stanley Parable, I believe you get a discount if you want to buy the Ultra Deluxe as well. The Ultra Deluxe adds more endings and more of the same old content you would expect from the Stanley Parable. There's some simpler endings where there's subtle changes in the narration of the previous game because you brought your new pal the Bucket, and there are also some new endings entirely. That actually makes permanent changes to the office and the game overall. The Ultra Deluxe also has 100% more jumping. Supply to jumping is limited to jump circles and only 32 jumps per save. The changes to the game were worth the money for me. It's new player friendly with the option to pick whether you've played the Stanley Parable on startup, and ultimately, it's another game where if you like walking simulators and some comedy, you're gonna have a good time. And if you don't, you won't. I think this is another funny and fantastic insight on video game development and video game tropes at large. The Stanley Parable has once again made me laugh with almost every line in the script. Make sure you get the broom closet ending, and bring the bucket.
I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together. Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.